Their latest video is Melty Blood actress again. Let's take a little look at this. This is a fighting game that I'd really like to play but don't want to learn. That's the boss guy. And that's the cute cat lolly. Witch. Cat witch lolly. Len is the zony one, I think. There's also a black Len, who's, I think, a little bit more rushdown. I don't know if it's really as simple as zony and rushdown. White Len seems to be more, like, setup based. The teleport. Oh wait, this is Black Len? Oh shit, it is Black Len. Just using the white palette of Black Len. God damn it. That's how they trick you. The thing about Ryu and Ken is that even though they look really similar already, Capcom were pretty good about not giving them like two palettes that look really similar. Like Ken frequently has a white outfit, but it doesn't look that much like Ryu's white. And then they don't really have another color in common. Ryu tends to have like really non-vibrant colors, and Ken tends to have super vibrant colors. So you can't really easily mix them up. What is that thing just sitting there? Super meters in this game are so strange. You can burn 100 to use a super, but all supers are just EX moves basically. Every single super is just like the third version of a special move, I think. And then if you actually get to 300%, you enter like a mode where I don't even know what happens. I don't even understand it, to be honest. Your meter's suddenly constantly going down, but I think you have increased properties during that state. Meter doesn't seem to be that important in this game in general, though. Most supers only seem to be barely better than, like, just regular-ass combos. Humans are actually actively sexually selecting based on height, which is why people have gotten consistently very taller compared to, like, even memorable history. I think people will continue getting taller for a long time. As long as it's being selected. That being said, there are, like, advantages to being shorter. You need less food and shit. If overpopulation gets to be a bigger problem, I think that we'll probably see, like, fucking shorter people. But right now there's an excess of resources, so it doesn't matter. I don't think 7 foot's gonna be a cutoff. It depends. I think 7 feet will be a cutoff if, like, if everyone who is 7 feet has problems still. But that's the thing, is they might not. Because evolution. There might eventually be people who have 7 foot builds and no downsides. I mean, it's a real thing that something could get that huge if you fucking... if there's an excess of food and, like, you know, no downsides, and it's being sexually selected. Like, shit, giraffes exist. Giraffes exist because things can be that tall. Or like a better example would be elephants, I guess. You probably could have functional 500-pound people. And by functional, I mean like, you know, functional to the degree that like 200 pounds are right now. I mean, I don't think it would go on forever. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you just keep on growing until you're 1,000 feet tall. I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't necessarily stop at any amount. Unless, like, there were health issues. And you can get past 7 feet without getting health issues because there are real animals that are taller than that. More reach in and of itself doesn't benefit us, but like being taller gets people laid. That's a benefit. That's like a very, very direct evolutionary benefit. That's about as direct as it gets. Alright, I have like a theory about the future, okay? Eventually we're gonna have robots, right? Like, pretty sure. I don't know that for dead sure, but like, I feel like we're pretty close. Right now we've got like human sports that humans play, right? Imagine robot sports that robots play. At first I was like, imagine if there was like a robot who played basketball. He'd like fucking make every shot. But then I was like, what if it was all robots? And they all play basketball. And then I started thinking like, they'd have to make a harder game to make it like hard enough for the robots to play. And then I started thinking about robot sports. Imagine the fucking amazing sports that robots would play. Robot rugby. Sure. Robot combat would be pretty great. That'd be one of the first ones that would happen. In fact, you can actually say that robot combat is already happening. It's just very shitty right now. Like right now we have chess, right? That's a game that robots are already better than people at. It's hard to imagine like a game with like a million that, you know, it's hard to modify chess in such a way that robots are like just playing at like the competitive human level, but like, you know, higher. Not that I think chess is almost solved or anything. But like, it's hard to even imagine a game that like, you know, was chess, but like took into account how much better competing robots are. It would need to be a human-sized robot. That's kind of the beauty of it. You could have like pro robot fighters and they could be like a foot tall if there are no humans in the league. Imagine fucking a robot MMA expert and he's like 6 inches tall. And it's part of like a league where every robot has to be at exactly 6 inches. Big Hero 6 did have something a little bit like that. Len is really cool. I guess technically you could make Gundams too, but you know, Gundams would be a lot more expensive than 6-inch robots. I was doing it with the interest of the economy. This game is actually extremely cool. I really like the way combos work. It'll be like some short confirm into like a launch, and then jump into air magic series, into like double jump into another air magic series, into like air throw. That's the basic combo formula. But there's a lot of characters who kind of break those rules. That's a reverse beat. This has been happening a lot, but I haven't pointed them out yet. I think if you're half moon or crescent moon, you can go backwards in your magic series, which lets you make things safe really easily. So you can hit the opponent with like a stand C and then cancel it to a stand A, and the stand A is like plus frames. That being said, range like tends to scale with button strength, so oftentimes the stand A will like whiff. It depends on the character and their normals, and also how far away you are. These guys' combos are pretty cool. The character I really like is the one, Shion, I think. She's got a gun. The one with a gun. She's got like a gun and a whip. And she's got like bullets. The way her combos work and the way her pressure works is super, super interesting. She's like a really cool character. Yeah, I like the Shion with the bullets, because one of them has bullets and the other one doesn't. This game looks super, super easy to understand. I don't have a super great grasp of all the mechanics, but like most combos, I can see them and I understand everything that happened. The combo system is pretty straightforward. It looks like a very entry-level anime game. Little bell noises when Len's attacking. Len has 3 cats that she can throw. One of them goes across the ground. Actually, maybe 2 of them go across the ground. And one of them is the... No. How does it work? One of them goes across the ground and one of them is the Robo... what is her name? Neko Arcwade. That one. And it like launches. Why does every anime game have so many mechanics? That was a fucking strong combo. Wasn't that strong, I guess. 5,000 was quite a lot, but it's not like a huge amount. The kidder. That's not even true. I mean, it is true. But like, there are plenty of mechanics that allow the offense to be so oppressive. It's like if you removed the fucking offensive oppression, it would be just as stupid in the other direction as removing the defensive options. Removing the offensive options would be just as oppressive, I mean. Like, look at that guard bar up there. Guard bars don't serve to make fucking offense weaker, they serve to make it stronger. Damn, everyone's 15. Oh lord. Oops, I accidentally closed it. Oops, I opened up Vampire Savior. Oops. Meow. Look, it's Albath. This is the character I play. Rikuo. He's a fish. He's a merman. That poison stuns opponents in place and sets them up for a full juggle. I mean a full jumping combo. It's also safe. It's a charge move, it's like charge back forward kick. That run. That move's a charge move too. The Sonic Waves. That also sets the opponent up. Not only that, but you can combo the Sonic Waves into the poison. It's also fairly safe to throw out in footsies. The bubble, that's unblockable. It takes a little while to actually get it out, and it costs a bar to do. But if the opponent gets into it, they get frozen in place, and then you can, for example, do a poison cloud on them and then do a jump in. I don't think Darkstalkers is usually considered anime, but it's basically the origin of every anime trope. When I say every anime trope, I mean every anime video game, every anime fighting game trope. He had to take that and jump, or else he was going to get hit by the unblockable. This is like a good Rikuo. I like never ever ever see Shinko in this game. I don't know if she's like really bad, but she probably is. I don't see that much Rikuo either. Nice. This is like the one character I actually know a lot about. His dash doesn't really give him a super good like low overhead mix-up or anything. Like a lot of characters' dashes do. Like we just saw right there, we just saw an instant overhead. But, oh, none of them hit. It does give him like a really good like blocking pressure. You can see Shenko doing those instant overhead dashes. Or not instant overhead, what do you call it? Well, yeah, it would be an instant overhead, I guess. Instant air dashes, which let her get overheads. Super low to the ground, very hard to react. He faked like he was going to cross up with the corpse hop, that thing. And then he just landed on the same side, did a combo. Oh, there we go. Wasn't in a good position to get anything else, so he just took the jumping combo. Morgan is a little bit technical because she's got a Raging Demon. It's a hit and not a throw. But you have to be able to do Magic Series and then do the Raging Demon out of the Magic Series. You have to be good at Raging Demons if you want to play Morgan. Same with Lilith, I think. Apart from that, Morgan, from what I hear, just basically plays like Ryu with a weird dash. It's not super hard. It's not like I can do them. It's not like doing Kara Demons or anything. You're doing a demon during a combo, and the demon combos from your fucking initial hits. It's not a grab, it's not a reset. Makes it a lot easier to do because of that. I like that noise. Riku's mix-up isn't super insane, but his ability to convert off of random hits is quite good. Got that yoga drill. I think he's got 2 command grabs up close, but most characters have at least 1 command grab up close. Proximity grabs. He's got one where he like shoots pearls at you. That was probably a punish, and then he comboed the jump in from it. That was cool. So the main mechanical thing about this game series, if you're not in the know, is the cancels in the Street Fighter sense exist, and Magic Series in the, I guess in the Marvel sense, they're different. It's more like a feng shui engine. Although it depends a little bit on the character. Different characters have different varieties of Magic Series. But it's like feng shui. Both of those exist, but you can only do one or the other. Like if you Magic Series, you can't suddenly cancel. And if you cancel, well I guess you can suddenly Magic Series, but not really because you can't usually go special normal that easily in this game. It's not a rooftop, it's a side of a building. Yeah. It's a very cool stage. Very common strategy for Rikuo. Put up the bubble and then anti-air. Very difficult to get out of that without taking some damage. Jumps are really fucking fast in this game. Anyway, it's a little bit like Cross Tekken. Except the Magic Series is more elaborate than Cross Tekken because most characters can go from like medium punch to medium kick. Which I think you couldn't do in Cross Tekken, as anyone. Outside target combos. I'm doing A-okay. So that was, he chained 2 lights there. And then he cancelled into an ES move. Can't recognize fucking Vampire Savior on reaction, for shame. It even says right there on the screen. Vampire Savior. Anyway, in this game, the chains are generally better, both in terms of safety and in terms of like knockdown, and even in terms of damage. The chains are generally better than light cancels. So you see a whole lot of chaining. Baby Bonnie Hood's pretty interesting. She's the guile of this game. More like the Nash. The Alpha Nash. I think Zael, this guy, the L Raptor, I think he has a thing where he can hold forward during all his normals to change them. So he's got like 12 standing normals. He also has a crawl. It's basically 12's forward walk, but better. Nice. Not a super big combo though. He did that OTG not to do damage, but to restore health. Didn't help him much. We can't see it because the frame rate is exactly the wrong frame rate. But in this game, there's white health. Every time you take damage, you take some real damage and some white health damage. And then the white health damage just recovers over time. Yeah, that's right. He's got them for the down normals too. Shades of Dulcim going on, but much more rush down. I'm pretty sure he's like top 3. He's like a really good character. Raptor. He's got very good hitboxes at basically no downside. And he also has an okay overhead low mix-up, which is basically the king in this game. Number 1 top tier. Pretty sure it's Sasquatch who's number 1. I didn't realize they were that close. Or that Raptor could be better. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, look at that! Led to a full jump in. The poison regrounded there. Even after the poison, he could have theoretically gotten like the Sonic Blast. That's a really cool combo avenue. Oh, the OTG whiffed. That's it, dude. Run cancels. I said she's like Alpha Nash because she's a charge character, but she's got a run. She's got some El Fuerte style stuff, if you're perfect with the running. But goddamn, it's hard. She's got like a lot of like run, like just frame. Like you have to run the perfect amount of frames, and then it's a 1-frame link if you run the perfect number of frames. So you have to start your run on the right frame, and then like cancel your run into a normal on the right frame. But the run's just forward. But if you do that, there's certain like sequences you can get. I think she has an infinite. I don't remember if it's this game that she has an infinite. I don't even remember if she's in Night Warriors, actually. I think it is this game that she has an infinite. Yeah, you missed Melty. What's the name of those again? Darkness Illusion? Or is that Morgan's one? Or what the fuck is Darkness Illusion? I always forget the name of those. The activate. Everyone has it and it does different things for every character. Rikuo's is pretty cool. It makes it so he can like move freely around while still being standing and being able to block, for example. That's just his forward dash. Crouching swimming thing. It's just forward dash, low medium punch, I think. Dark Force. Forward dashes in general are really busted in this game. Pretty much every character is fully themed around their forward dash. That's just the way the game is played. Or if not their forward dash, then their instant air dash, like if it's QB or this guy or Shenko, I guess. There's a few others. Like, that's like the crux of all your pressure, and it's also the crux of your overheads if you have like a jumping dash, which a lot of characters do. Like Sasquatch, like Morgan. Forward dashes or air forward dashes are basically the core offense of like every single character. I always thought it was kind of weird that like Donovan was only in one game. They were re-added somehow in like a later revision. They were in Chaos Tower. Are they in like Vampire Savior 2? What the fuck is Vampire Savior 2? I've never known. I know that it exists. I know there's technically a Darkstalkers 4 or like a 3.5. But what is it? What's actually different? Are there more characters? Shenko's half the instant air move you can cancel in half like an instant air dash. It's like the hanging chain cancel on the instant air dash. I didn't even know Vampire Hunter 2 was a thing. What the fuck? I know that Vampire Savior is a lot more popular than VSAV 2. It's kind of like some kind of Mortal Kombat trilogy thing going on there, I guess. In fact, it's probably almost exactly like that. Added back some missing characters and then made some tier adjustments that people didn't like. What does hers do? Meteor in this game is so weird. EX moves and ES moves cost the same amount of meter. One is basically a super and the other is basically an EX move. And the meter requirement is pretty high. EX moves take a long amount, they take a good amount of meter to build before you can use one. And most of them aren't super good. Most characters are more themed around their normals than any sort of metered options. It's more of a symptom of the game in general, is that there aren't really that many special moves used. This is just a very movement plus normal based game. That's probably true, Max. That has a good chance of being true. Yeah, I know what you mean, Goblin. I agree with that. Double health bar is generally worse, I feel. That being said, I do like how fast it is in this game. People who play Shaman 3rd Strike are like people who use fucking Charizard in old Pokemon. People who use non-Mega Charizard. There's a lot of gore on the stage. I used to play competitive Pokemon, okay? I still do just a little bit. And, a lot of people use Charizard. Not only that, but like the higher tier you were in, the more likely you were to see a Charizard. Charizard was a really, really shitty Pokemon. Like, very shitty. Like, actually, like, extraordinarily shitty. And, like, yet Ubers was, like, the tier where you were the most likely to run into a Charizard. Oh, I dropped. A little bit too late because of his Dark Force. Oh, got him. Couldn't combo, though. And just, it was ridiculous how common it was to use Charizard and how ridiculously shit Charizard was. I miss those days. You can still see it with like other mons, such as Venusaur and Blastoise, which are both they're okay. Or just certain pairs, I guess, when you see a team that has all of them, which is like fairly common, believe it or not, especially in the low ladder. Dude, when you first start laddering in Ubers, your first like 2 matches are just like a shit show. Anything can happen. Some man leads with fucking Darkrai, and it's like, okay, here's a Darkrai, it's probably gonna fucking Roar of Time me. And then it starts with fucking like, I mean, it's probably gonna Dark Void me, and then it starts with a Roar of Time. And it's just like, yo, what? I'm probably not getting Monster Hunter. What's going on? All characters in this game are pretty balanced, from what I can tell. Or I think the balance is supposed to be pretty shitty. But I think it's more of the skill ceiling seems like decently high, and it's more of the loses all matchups just a little bit kind of shitty, than loses some matchups a lot kind of shitty. Most Dark Forces seem to be kind of bad. I think the main thing about Dark Forces is that when the Dark Force runs out, you've got an unavoidable recovery period, kind of like 12x copy. And you can get around that by ending the Dark Force early. So whenever people are in Dark Force, they usually, if they're not actively getting pressure going, they're usually looking for a safe time to cancel their Dark Force. It's pretty strange. Yeah, most Dark Forces don't seem to change a whole lot. Third Strike has an unusual symptom that almost every character that's hard is good, and almost every character that's easy is bad. There aren't that many exceptions to that. It's not that hard to play like Hugo. It's hard to win with Hugo. If you want to do something like standing 720s, Hugo's hard, I guess. But most of his clap links aren't super tight, and his game plan is pretty straightforward. Or like Alex. Alex is pretty executionally simple. Ken is kind of hard. Ken's game is... like, Ken seems like he'd be really simple. He's one of the easier characters in the game, I suppose. But his game is fundamentally themed around, like, one-frame links. And granted, they're not super hard one-frame links, but, like, you know... it's not like just like Ryu, where it's just, like, throw fireballs and do uppercuts in Street Fighter 4. Third Strike Ken is like, you know, poking out with, like... very choice, like, singular pokes. And then watching for, like, hit confirms. Super hit confirm oriented character. One frame links are very uncommon in Third Strike, but one frame links into Super are extremely common. Ken has a bunch. Low strong into SA3 on a standing opponent is one frame, I'm pretty sure. Stand strong into SA3 I think is 2 frames. Both of those are more of the opponent's crouching. Back medium kick and forward hard kick, both overheads, are crouching only one frame links into Super. I guess that's all the good ones. Everything else is a cancel. This is Vampire Savior, also known as Darkstalkers 3. Yeah, they really didn't want to make overhead into super good. Or they did want to make it good, but they didn't want to make it like, you know. Easy. Ken's game plan is kind of strange at the highest level of play. It's not hard. It's mostly just like fucking occasionally jump EX Tatsu and then look for like certain normal pokes. It's a lot more complicated than that. I'm making it sound super simple. But it is like... Ken's one of the easiest characters you can play in Third Strike, but he's like not... I don't know. The things you do with Ken at a low level don't make him top tier, if that makes sense. Ken is like mid tier, if you're not doing like the super like link heavy kind of stuff. Parry doesn't make everything super weird, it just makes it so you have to be really unpredictable. That's all. You need to basically have 2 things that you're between, at least. Usually more. In every scenario in Street Fighter, like 4 and 5, there's like one thing that you should probably do, unless it's a mix-up scenario, and then it's just, I'll do one or the other. But in literally every scenario of Street Fighter 3, it's like, I need to be equally ready to do like 3 different things. And then you just have to randomly pick between one of those 3 things every time you're in that scenario. It's pretty fun. But it's very overwhelming for a lot of people. A lot of fucking beginners at Third Strike have like one thing that they're always ready to do in a scenario, and then they do it a few times and it works okay. And then I see it and I'm like, oh, and then I just parry it, and then it's like, what the fuck? Suddenly they hate the game. Blocking various safe attacks. Yeah, I really like the soundtrack. It's very calm. The stages are really cool too. This is the first stage I ever played on when I played this game. My favorite stages are the desert with like the red sun or whatever, and the side of the building, and that one Japanese stage with like the sauna. I'm pretty sure some universal overheads are more plus than others. Some are definitely more minus than others. I can say that with a certainty. Universal overheads are actually less universal than you were led to believe. They do have a constant speed, I think. I don't remember the speed, it's like 17 frames or something like that. It might be faster than that, actually. But I'm pretty sure it is 100% consistent. But they're not all consistent in terms of plus frames. Well, I meant more like on hit and on block. Some are more plus on hit, some are more minus on block. That's what I was trying to say. Here's that fucking desert stage that I was just mentioning with the red moon. This level's name is Red Thirst. Could the stage perchance be a JoJo reference? We got an Anakar, dude. He's not doing too well right now. Anakar is one of the less rushdown characters in this game. His mix-up comes from his jump, rather than any sort of dashing stuff, although his dash is okay. He can like do like knee shot style stuff, like DJ in Street Fighter 4. He can like jump and cancel his jump, like that. And then he can also, from the height of his jump, like attack with like attacks from the ground. I'm pretty sure he's a charge character. He has a fuck ton of like raging demons. Most of them aren't throws. In fact, I'm not sure there's even one that's a throw. But he has a lot of button press style supers and stuff. The thing about the Raging Demon is that it in and of itself is a reference to this game, Darkstalkers. There's a Victor. Universal Overhead has radically different properties than whatever button it's imitating. For one thing, the damage on them is low as fuck. I'm pretty sure that Victor is a grappler to some degree. His main trick is that his normals have like a regular version and like an electric version based on how long you hold the button. The electric versions, I think, are a little bit slower. I don't actually know. I think they push out more too. They do different damage, I think, and they also have farther range. Sometimes you want the regular one, sometimes you want the electric one, but I can't really say why. I don't have that much knowledge on Victor. He has really big range in a game where like his pokes are way further than most of the pokes in this game. He has some fucking limbs. Battletoad's limbs is actually 100% accurate. That was like a new thing that they were first starting to do around the era this game was made. They were doing it in alpha as well. I don't remember if they actually did it in Street Fighter 2, but I think they did. When an attack is coming out, the hand or the foot gets a little bit bigger during the hit stun, during the fucking impact freeze. Victor is like a really, really ridiculous extreme example of that. It's like an animation trick they were first playing with that I think they've been doing ever since. I don't know if they do it in the 3D games, actually. They do it in Street Fighter 3, but it's really subtle. The fucking ass grab. That was guaranteed there because of the freeze ending. The dark force. Normally he just kind of grabs you between his fucking glutes and then swings you. But the EX version or whatever, he like, it's a mash grab and he shocks you with electricity and then throws you. And the shocks and the throw have a lot of damage between them. Can you punch the dog? No. The dog is a prop. The dog literally does nothing. It might do something for her Dark Force, I have no idea. But it's not involved in any of her special moves. And it has no hitbox or anything. The dog appears to be a 100% ordinary, innocent dog that is not aware that she's actually like a psycho killer. I really like the Woodsman super she has. I think the Huntsmen are in this game too. Wow, tricky. These limbs. That's an Abigail crouch face right there. Sasquatch, stand back. This character has literally everything. He has the best instant overhead game of like any character. He can basically just get like fucking instant ass overheads whenever he wants by his forward dash. If he forward dashes, he becomes airborne, and if he hits any normal while forward dashing, it cancels the dash, which makes him start falling immediately. So basically he can get tiny, tiny jumps all the time. He also has a command grab, and he also has an okay low game, and he also has really long normals. His ES moves are pretty good too. He literally has everything. He's got like the ultimate offense. I mean, the roster's pretty small. The tier list is okay for how small the roster is. Sasquatch is so strange. Felicia has like as strong an overhead low mix-up, but she lacks his other strong properties. And also her overhead low mix-up is actually not as strong. Her combo options off her overhead lows are not as good, but she's got like instant air stuff too. Someone post that tier list so we can all see it. I'm pretty sure last time you were here you were going to marry someone else. That was a punish for the Dark Force. That Dark Force seems to be a pretty good one. The thing is, the dash works a little bit like 12, his air dashes. You have to dash longer in order to get like heavy normals to have time to come out. So oftentimes you'll see like dash light normals or dash medium normals because they're a lot faster. Blazblue, Sasquatch, QB. You never see QB that much, even though she's a very strong character. I see a good amount of everyone else there. Galon, that's the Wolf, Talbane. Then Rikuo, Baby Bonnie Hood, Bishamon, Felicia. I don't see that much Bishamon either. He's the guy where if you charge his charge moves longer, they go farther. He's got limbs for days because of his sword. Lilith is higher than I remember. I thought like Morgan was low and Lilith was bottom. But I think I remember it's like a, not new, but like, I remember Lilith was like secret high tier, or like secret mid tier. I remember that was the thing. Maybe Lilith just looks like a low tier. Because damn it, she does. Lilith, Shenko, Dimitri, Jetta. I didn't realize Victor was like bottom 2. Anakaris. Oh, there's no Huizel, is there? I forgot about that. Daigo theoretically started fighting games with Night Warriors, and I think his first main was Bishamon. BB Hood does have an infinite. Lilith has basically the same deal that Morgan has. In fact, they have a lot of gameplay similarities. Which is unsurprising. I liked him. So he got removed, Pyron got removed, and Donovan got removed. Don't think anyone else. It's hard because it's full of one-frame links. One-frame dash, one-frame link, one-frame dash, one-frame link. If you're too fast, you'll lose range and it won't be an infinite anymore. If you're too slow, it won't link. Matchup chart. I'm actually going to take a second to look at this. I can't ask someone to post that. These are... This is like third strike level of balance. Bunch of 6-4s, bunch of 7-3s, and a couple 8-2s. Or I only see one 8-2 actually. Yeah, I think I only see one 8-2. And it's literally best character against worst character. So that's like, it's a smaller roster than Third Strike. But it's like similar balance. This one has Lilith and Morgan right next to each other. You finished it? There's a lot. If you finished FF12 already, there's a lot more to it that you haven't done. I'm guessing finish it means punch what's his name? Valley Girl in the face, Vayne. There's a lot of extra content in FF12. A lot, like a lot. About 1/3 of the game, or like 1/4 of the game, is like the base story. For one thing, there's you only doing the main story. You only encounter like 4 what do you call those guys? The Zodiacs, Espers, but there's actually 13 of them. Morgan looks alright, yeah. 7-3s are okay. She's got like 4 of them though. Lilith has definitely won a big VSAV event. I know that. This doesn't look that bad. What the fuck is going on with this? Bishamon's... This must be why he's not played that much. He's only 1 below Baby Bonnie Hood, but he's got a lot more ridiculously bad matchups and a lot more ridiculously good matchups. He's a lot more imbalanced than Baby Bonnie Hood is. Rikuo is pretty high up. Seven Espers is pretty good. Did you go to what's that place? The Nabrius Deadlands? The Necrohole of Nabadis. Did you go there at all? It's very easy to never go there. Interesting bit. Oh no, dude. The Necrohole of Nabadis has exactly 1 Esper in it, if I recall. And the Nabrius Deadlands does not have any. There's a bunch of Super Boss marks. There's a bunch of Super Boss Espers. And there's also a bunch of, there's a couple super bosses besides both of those. In my recent playthrough of IZJS, I did all the endgame content. I even got the Easter egg weapon. You probably wouldn't care about it. I don't know if you would care about it. I don't know if you played Dragon Quest. But if you get a bunch of extremely hard to get items from killing super bosses and doing various side quests, the bizarre thing you get from them is the Lotus Sword from Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3. Jet is just the last boss. He's like actually quite balanced. Who's the last boss of 2? Is it Pyron then Pyron? Pyron was the last boss of 1, right? I'm pretty sure Jet is the last boss of 3. I think we've confirmed that Dragon Quest XI is being translated, but we don't have a date yet. Dragon Quest games you can basically play in any order. I guess it's technically good to play 1, 2, and 3 in release order. But apart from that, there's no, you know, you can go nuts. They're pretty good games. They invented a genre and they're still one of the best series in said genre, so, you know. And by pretty good games, I mean it's one of my all-time favorite series. But if you don't like JRPGs, or if you're not like, you know... The thing is, they're all extremely generic, but that's because they created a bunch of tropes that have been meticulously copied. But they're kind of generic anyway, because they're supposed to be a celebration of Western culture. And if you're not Japanese, then you don't, like... If you're Western, you don't care about the celebration of Western culture as much, you know what I mean? Like, the concept of a dragon kidnapping a princess and a prince having to go and rescue... that's a very novel thing to the Japanese. That's like, oh, that's a really cool plot. But to Americans, to the West, it's just like, oh yeah, I've been reading stories like that forever. That's what dragons do, they kidnap princesses. You can see that in religion too. The religion of the various games is just literally Christianity, which is a kind of novel thing to the Japanese. Dragon Quest games aren't really graphical at all. I would say it's not really any better to play like the re-releases. It's probably more convenient. But, you know, they're kind of timeless games. And by that I mean equally that the old games don't look that bad, and the new games don't look that good. I guess 8 looks pretty nice. But, you know, it's not so different to play the Super Nintendo versions as it is to play the 3DS versions, to be 100% honest. For like 1 through 7. First person. The dungeon crawling is just like Pokémon. If you've played a Pokémon game, you've basically played a Dragon Quest game. Minus the catching. And with more emphasis on, like, you know, towns. I've beaten all the Dragon Quest games. All the mainline anyway. I've played most of the spin-offs too. Avoid using emulators for streaming? What an odd concept. I can't imagine trying to actually stream a fucking Super Nintendo game from a Super Nintendo. Especially a Japan-only Super Nintendo game. Look into alternate means. I can't even imagine streaming a PS2 game. Or of course a 3DS game. The Dragon Quest games don't have PC releases, which makes them very hard to stream without emulators. And very easy to stream with emulators. Was there a region-free Super Nintendo? I seem to recall that Super Famicom games had different ports than the Super Nintendo games did. I guess most of the games I play and stream are really, really old. They don't feel old to me. And I'm not that old. It's just that I did most of my gaming when I was really young. And most of the games I stream are games I know really well, because I played them a lot when I was really young. There was a time in my life where I was beating a game every week. Or more. Like a new game every week. And I don't mean short games either. Emulation's been my life for since I had a computer for the first time. I own plenty of physical copies too. My backlog is old games too. I'm completely on a different page from you. I thought most people's backlogs were old games. I thought people saw shit like Earthbound and they were like, I want to have played that, but then they don't play it because, you know, it's an old game. I thought the entire concept of a backlog was the classics these days. And the classics are pretty old. I'm getting hosted for 5 viewers. Halt the presses. Why can he do that? Why does he have a command grab he can combo from? Being able to combo from something is not a huge deal in this game. It's a bunch of extra damage, but there's no the damage potential in this game off of a max damage punish is not that high. You know what I mean? If someone did something minus 100, it would just end up being a full jumping combo into a magic series into a sweep. It wouldn't be that strong. It'd be 30% tops. for most of the characters anyway. Later, Nato. Yeah. Depending on how well you can actually like restore your white health, you can have a ton of HP. It's only 9 PM, but I'm tired as fuck because I woke up at 7 AM. I'm gonna go to bed pretty soon. I have not ever played Seiken Densetsu 3. That's the Japan-only Secret of Mana sequel, right? I really enjoy certain retro fighters. Vampire Savior, KOF 98, I like a lot. Third Strike, I obviously like a lot. Alpha 3, I like quite a lot. It's not like it's all of them though. I like Mortal Kombat, but like Accent Core, I don't care that much. Like Threats of Fate, but better. I've been meaning to play Radiator Stories forever. Literally, the reason I wanted to play it was because it has a cool cover. CVS 2 I kind of like, but I don't watch that much. I'm getting more of this video. Let's throw a curveball in there. What do we got? What the fuck is this? Let's take an attempt to figure out what the hell this is. Oh, this is that game with the weapons. It's an anime game. It's all female and they all have like fucking cool weapons and shit. These two have Guan Yu's. I forget what they're called in Japanese. Guan Yu's a Chinese name. Koihime Embu. That's it. I watched some of this game recently. It looks like an anime game, but easier. It has shades of anime game though, but then shades of traditional 2D fighter. It looks really cool, to be honest. It looks like a very fun game. It's got a lot of style. I don't watch any Super Sentai. I basically don't watch any TV. I know there's some really good Sentai going on now. Sentai is in its golden age, or perhaps silver. There's like some new Sentai, I forget what, that's been doing super well recently. I like theoretically really like Sentai, but I never watch any. So what's the characters under the fucking portraits? Are they like an assist? Or what? What's going on? Why are there two characters per side? I remember one time I was at Super Arcade, and there were a couple people outside who were having a super heated like discussion about Sentai. Yo, this girl has a scythe and drills. She actually looks a lot like Elise from Fire Emblem. In that she's a blonde lolly with drills and an approximately black color scheme. Emphasis on approximately. This game is pretty tight. That was all one combo. It's still going. Wow. Oh yeah, it is clipped. I only intended to watch for like 10 seconds. What else we got? Ooh, we got Central Fiction. We like Central Fiction here, right? I don't know anything about anything after like Code of Phantasma. I don't know any of the new characters. Fortunately, there are no new characters here. We got regular ass Izuyoi and regular ass Carl. Nessan! Man, Carl looks nasty. Carl looks straight nasty, dude. Every time I see Carl play, I'm just like, this is gross. But I didn't do that much damage, though. These combos are really cool, but like, they're not super strong. They're probably not super hard either. It's probably just constantly holding forward and constantly holding the assist button. The trait button. What's it called, damn it? I can't even hate Carl's design because I can't even imagine a universe where I could play Carl. Drive button, there you go. I have a lot of respect for people who manage to get a reasonably good-looking gameplay style out of Carl. Because to me, he looks literally impossible. Same deal with Arachne. I think I would hate this character if not for how ridiculously hard he was. I like Arachne, though. Izuyoi is a pretty cool idea for a character. Her character design, though, I'd be worried about, like, I don't know. Bursts. She's super themed around, like, building her fucking charges in one mode and then using them in the other. I guess the damage is pretty evenly dispersed, so she either doesn't lose that many drives if she gets bursted, or she doesn't lose much damage based on when they burst. Bullet seemed like that too. It seems like Bullet, like, you know, her damage is super themed around whether she has that fucking drive. The extra hits after the drive attacks. So it's like, what if you just, you know, burst only when you're getting hit by those extra hits with the drive attacks? I just feel like characters who are like built around building something and then using something are really weak to bursts. But I guess that a lot of characters in this game are like that. I think Azrael has that too with his whatever up and down things. I don't know the names of anything in this game. I'm gonna jump around until we get a different matchup. Is this a platinum? No, it's not. It looked like one from the thumbnail. Oh, I didn't realize this entire video was just gonna be this matchup. Oh shit, what if it really is this whole video? Yup, same ass matchup. This is 49 minutes of one matchup. Alright, let's find another one. Alright, this one definitely has a bang in the thumbnail. And that's the spear. Girl. Oh yeah, it has one of those. It has a dust loop. I didn't want to look for a particular matchup. I just wanted to find something that wasn't that one. Overdrive combos are tight as fuck. I've been meaning to go back and play this game and do some more trials. It's fun. Maybe I'll do bangs next. Better, Roy. I can't decide from Mai's tool set, from her play style, from her input style, whether it would make her really easy or really hard. What's the consensus on Mai? Is she supposed to be an easier or difficult character? An ST. I love the fucking Furinkazan combos. He just built all four in one combo. Bang combos are actually pretty tight. Super meters are so weirdly irrelevant in anime games. It's not like you don't use supers in this game, because you do. But they're not that different from if you're using them as combo enders, they don't actually increase your damage very much at all. They're more like a tool in your arsenal. This is going to be another huge archive of exactly one matchup. God, I've been streaming a while, haven't I? Not that long, 5 hours. I brought it up because I simultaneously felt very hungry and very tired. I don't like Guilty Gear so much. But I'll give it a go. I do like the way Venom works a lot.